팀 경기장 도시양.
All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen, at the 2 o'clock position here on Antigua Shipyard. We have the aforementioned imbaFXO.Strelok. He is our red Terran player. And his opponent, knocking out a member of imbaFXO a second ago, he is our purple Zerg player. He is Vile.Hawk.
Yep, indeed. So, it's a cross-spawn only on this version of the map, right?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Yep.
And actually, I was going through Strelok's achievements and things like that. He did pretty well at the IPL, at IPL 2 as well. That was back in, oh geez, July last year. So long ago now.
Ancient history.
No kidding. But he actually had some really creative, cool builds, even knocking out our previous season's runner-up in Kiwikaki very early on in the tournament with some really, really nice. Kiwikaki got out Colossi. Strelok had Marines. His control was good enough that he just, like, countered him just with great control. So
sweet.
It's really cool. And then he actually ended up qualifying for IPL 3 through our online qualifiers. He was defeated by the STC in the end. That was one of the first ones that we had a good number of Koreans entered in. But despite that, we still had a foreigner make it through in Strelok, and it was really cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have to see what we see in this game. I think we're going to see a hatch first from Hawk, and not surprising at all.
Sure.
And Strelok's got a lot of options. Of course, you can go 1-Rax expand. He does like his Marines. But, you know, we talk about it all the time. Reactor Hellion is generally the order of business these days, but not this game for Strelok.
Yeah, looks like he's going to go after CC first and could very well just go into Reactor Hellions after that. I've seen that as a possibility from some players. But there it is, Command Center down at the bottom. And he'll add a Rex here in just a bit. But we'll see how early Hawk can actually pick up on this. No drone scouts quite yet, relying on his overlords to fly cross positions. Of course, we have switched this to cross positions only now, in contrast to our last season. So,
yeah, I think that's better this map. It's a little bit weird if you end up in not cross positions on this.
It's so hard for some players. Like, let's use for example, if you're on the like, let's say a Protoss was here where Hawk is, and then we had another player up here. You set a pylon down at the edge of your main, and you're warping units basically into your opponent's third. I mean, there's really no distance, and your pylon is completely protected.
Yeah, exactly. It's no fun when you're third and someone's main are right next to each other. That's for sure. So, looks like it is, you know, probably, I don't know. It's tough to say really what Strelok is going to go into just because you've got so many options here.
Sure.
A lot of players have been going right into Reactor Hellion after going Command Center first even. So it could still be the way things end up being. Hawk playing very economically sound, only going for 4 Zerglings rather than 6 or more, you know.
And, yeah, droning up right behind that as well. And he's not pulled off of gas once he's gotten that first 100, so, and actually not saving up his resources quite yet, so it's Speedlings are going to come out a little bit later. We'll see if he bypasses Speedlings in favor of something else, because once again, every time he's building up to that 100 minerals level, he's just spending it on something else and delaying his Zergling speed a little bit longer.
Yep,
and
concentrating on Queens and Drones instead. Oh, so he, I think, is counting on Strelok going for some sort of early Hellion play. He's actually going to go for that, like, around 8-ish Roach push that we see a lot of times on this map. And you know what? He might be perfectly right in his assumption, because the factory just went down for Strelok.
Yes, it did. So Strelok...
Is that SCV going to see the Roach Warren?
Well, yes, it is.
It
it's already close enough. He's going to be able to see it. Hopefully he's clicked on it now. I assume he has.
So well, the big thing will be is if he's clicked on the gas and does some math, he's going to be like, wait a second.
Yes.
The spawning pool's not jiggling.
Yes.
He's gotten a lot of gas. I think I know what's going on here.
I love that actually comes across in someone's thought process. That spawning pool is not jiggling. Oh, wow, Baneling Nest as well.
Whoa.
Oh,
all right.
Holy all in, folks.
Yeah, looks like Vile's going to go Ling, Baneling, Roach all in here.
Yes. Wow, already producing quite a number of units right now. How many drones is he sitting on? 21 drones is a very, very dirty push.
It could work.
Yeah, Strelok only has a couple of units out right now.
Yep, that's right. And it looks like Strelok, though, not using that factory to reactor on Hellions. Instead, just making one Hellion and making more Marines. Seeing the Roach Warren, of course, that's what you want to do. Not too surprising there.
Of course, yeah. He'll want as much DPS as he can to counter these very, very heavily armored units. He has a starport coming up as well, and actually putting on that tech lab, he figures if he gets out one Banshee, he's good to go.
Yep.
But there's still going to be an extremely powerful push, and who knows if he's going to be able to kill that fast enough. before this does too much economic damage to him.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. Hawk a little bit supply blocked right now, actually, at 44,
Oh, wow.
so that's not going to help at all.
Yeah.
Losing a couple links to that Hellion at the same time. Strelok's got enough bunkers. He's going to have enough Marines to make it difficult to push, and it looks like he might just decide to give up his natural here, too.
I think that is a brilliant decision. That's really, really smart, because that'll buy him the time he needs. Oh, he should actually just get the SEVs away right now if he's going to sack that position. And there they go. Okay.
Yep.
So hopefully he'll be able to close up his supply depots on the top of the ramp. He's not really in danger of it anymore.
Yeah.
Our first few banelings are rolling up, though.
Yep, and I don't know if he really expects the banelings. That's kind of the thing, is not a lot of Zerg players add banelings into this. You can, but it's a little bit less common. Oh, throwing down another command center too. So yeah, I think he's just kind of thinking it's going to be roaches and lings. I don't think he expects the banelings.
Yeah. Strelok is still handling this beautifully, though. I've got to say, I kind of like this decision, because with the Ray supply depots, the effect of the banelings is going to be mitigated quite a bit, and add into that, oh, now that he has that Banshee out there and Cloak's going to be on the way soon, those roaches have much less power, and he knows he lost some mining time because of the command center that was lifted, so he puts up another one, so he'll be able to catch up immediately, relying on his tech to get him ahead in this game.
Yeah, you know, I mean, maybe if Hawk had moved in with those banelings right away at that bunker, he could have done some damage, but instead just decided to pull back, using like 4 banelings on 1 Hellion. All right, well, not the most efficient use of that, but
no.
Yep. So now Hawk's a bit behind. I
Yes,
mean,
he is.
he's ahead in supply, yeah, but in terms of economy, you're gonna see it, you know, in a minute or two here as Strelok's economy starts to boom because of that third. Hawk's gonna be kind of struggling to keep up.
And the evolution chamber is just finishing up. This Banshee does have Cloak, and Lair is way away, so these are some dead queens.
Yeah.
On top of that, we're going to have some dead drones, too. And on top of that, we have drones that are now forced into becoming spore crawlers, which is not what Hawk wanted to do at this point. They can't really help it. That's just so much damage being done right now.
Looks like Strelok just wants to kill as many drones as he can. He knows that Hawk put a lot into that all-in, so any drone he kills is like more effective than it would normally be in a game at this point.
And there's one spore crawler popping up. 2, as a matter of fact. He has to get away very, very quickly. Whoa! There's a queen that actually comes up. The creep was just connected, and so it does go down. Second Banshee has to run away, but it's certainly done its job.
Yep. Oh, look at that Spire on the way now for Hawk. Let's take a look at the worker count. I want to see where things are at. All right, 56 drones to 47 SCVs. Not actually that bad for Hawk. He droned a little bit more than I thought he would have at this point.
Yeah, but Strelok now is triple producing SUVs,
Yep.
and importantly as well, he's ahead in supply. He has 13 Marines, a Siege Tank, and Cloaked Banshees on the ground against just 2 Roaches and 6 Banelings.
Yep, that's right. That third is, of course, going to be up quite a bit higher, or quite a bit sooner, rather, for Strelok than Hawk. That's going to help quite a bit. Oh, it looks like he's going to go into mech after that, getting Blue Flame and an Armory right now, and making 4 Hellions at once. I like it.
Yes, so there we have it. 3 factories up and running. That barracks is probably going to be used as something of the scouting variety here eventually. And multiple tanks are already up there with that Blue Flame on the way, as you mentioned before.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love mech. I don't know, it's just like my favorite thing in the world. I mean, I think a lot of, nearly all the pro players will kind of tell you that Marine tank is more stable, you know, throughout the course of the game than mech is. And,
Sure.
And it's true, with mech, you really need to be kind of a step ahead of your opponent the entire time. If you get behind, it's really tough to catch up. But I don't care, I love mech. It's just fun.
I'm sure Hawk's not happy to see this third base up already and functioning, though. So Strelok has a pretty good defensive position built with these Siege Tanks. The Zerglings know that they can't bust in. 2 die immediately, and the Blue Flame Hellions can actually chase down a good portion of the rest or get them back into that Siege Tank fire range.
Yeah, he's going to focus on Thor Hellion for a while, I've got a feeling, just because he knows that his opponent's composition is going to be mostly Ling Muta. So that works okay as long as you don't get your Hellions surrounded, as long as you don't lose too many of them kind of trying to get, you know, map control.
And let's actually take a look at what Strelok has seen. Scanning through the base. Okay, just what he saw. Oh, well. There we go.
There you go.
Now he knows for sure. I agree with you. He probably just assumed that they were coming out, but now he knows absolutely for sure that Mutas are on the field.
Yep, making a couple of Vikings, too. We'll have to see if he continues production with those. I think we're going to see him make a few more Thors here. We'll see.
I don't mind. Thor Hellion Viking right now is pretty powerful against what Hawk has on the field, especially given Hawk's relatively limited unit numbers. One supply depot will fall, but he saw the Blue Flame Hellion drop coming, and he's sending all of his Mutas back. He's really got to get down that.
Man. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, that did not go too well. He's going to kill maybe a couple Lings here. Yeah, not even really that. Just
Ugh.
2, just a couple links.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, that drop did not go very well. A little bit of indecisiveness from Strelok when that came in. You know, oh, can I make it happen? Can I go? He decided to go for it. Took a lot of hits.
Yeah.
And the Muta Harass is going to do some damage. Where are the Thors at? One down there. Ooh, doing some pretty big hits there.
Yes, and a few of those mutas need a return right now, but there's so much anti-air that's coming out for Strelok at the moment that he's got a pretty nice varied unit composition ahead. He's well ahead in supply. Hawk just now saturating this third, and income rates are obviously reflected there.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm a little bit surprised that Strelok switched into making some Vikings so early. You know, normally you wait a little bit longer for that until you kind of have a sense of when their Hive Tech is going to come out, because you'll need that for the Broodlords.
Sure.
But, yeah, deciding to make some Vikings. I suppose you can kill Overlords, keep things clear of that.
Just really wants to be safe against mutas.
Well, yeah, Vikings are like the least best thing in the world against mutas.
True, but in conjunction with the Thors and the limited numbers that Hawk has out, it's enough to at least keep him at bay and prevent from doing economic damage.
I suppose Marauders are a little bit worse against mutas.
If only they could just tilt over and shoot up.
No, it's like their siege upgrade. They just fall over backwards.
I like it.
It takes a while for them to get back up.
Get on it, Blizzard. Heart of the Swarm. We want to see it. Let's see here. 4th Command Center coming up now for Strelok, though. And we also have that 4th hatchery for Hawk, but Strelok's about maxed, and if he's able to pressure this, it's going to be a bad situation for Hawk. We do have 4 more factories coming up, though.
Nice.
So Strelok is going to try and fall back on 4 base economy and mass production facilities to be able to remax really as quickly as you can with a mech army. It's always a slow process, but hopefully as quickly as possible as you can.
Yep, pretty much. He's been skipping on the upgrades a little bit too because of how soon he's gotten those Vikings up, so that's going to slow things down a little bit. You can do 3-3 off of 3 bases and push at about, you know, I think it's about the 20-minute mark usually, and he's not going to quite hit that, but we're probably still going to see him push no matter what when he hits around 200, 200. Yeah, there he goes right now.
Yes, he is, and already starting to bank quite a few resources. His income rate is still very, very good on 80 harvesters right now, and certainly that is a pretty devastating force. It's really how much is he going to be able to manage the creep and this force of Zerglings. If he gets great shots off with the Blue Flame Hellions, then I don't think there's any problem, but if the Zerglings get anything close to us around, it could be disaster for Strelok.
Or Hellion, it's the Karn build, although those Vikings added in makes an interesting kind of addition to that, an interesting spice of flavor, if you will. That gold base is going to die.
Yes, it is. Not a chance.
Quickly.
Not a chance it stays up.
I think Hawk's in a bit of trouble here. He really doesn't have what he needs to hold this off at this point. Not enough mutas, not enough lings and banelings. Strelok does need to be a bit more careful with those. Hellions, though, is it going to be enough?
Well, the Banelings just wasted themselves into the Thors as well, not really taking out that many of the Hellions. And these Vikings actually are enough to start driving away the Mutalisks, and there were a few Marines that were sitting on the ground as well. So
that is the weirdest thing, man. I mean, having so many Vikings out with a mech composition like that so early, that's a really interesting thing. I wonder if we're going to see more of that in the future here. Mike, never mind.
Yeah.
I was about to say nice micro then. Then he stopped.
That's okay.
Oh, well.
150 supply to 115 now. These Vikings can just get back home. Not totally necessary anymore. The Banshee's starting to go down, and eventually once there's some detection out there, it will die. But back at home now, Strelok, like I said, to back up to 160 supply as 5 Thors popped out at exactly the same time.
Nice.
That's insane. And they're already at level 2 weapons, going to 2-3 at the moment.
Yep. Yep, you got to be so careful with your Hellions if you're going mech, and if you're only going Hellion Thor, because the Hellions are really what kind of keeps your Thors safe, of course, against things like Zerglings. So if you get your Hellions a little bit too far ahead of your army and lose them, suddenly your mech army is basically worthless. Your Thors are going to be dead so fast. So that's kind of the big thing that Strelok needs to worry about. You can see him switching and adding in some more tanks now. That's a much safer composition.
Yeah.
And that's a good way, I would say, to move into a later game scenario with him trying to hold that gold like he is.
Yeah, and the upgrades aren't terrible for the Roaches that are out either. Of course, no weapons upgrades, but the armor does help to nullify the amount of damage that Thors can do, because, I mean, if you have like a 2 upgrade disparity from Thors to Roaches, they just boom, 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 dead Roach. And you never want that to happen.
Yep.
All right, Fusion Core coming up. Huzzah, Strelok.
Yeah, Strelok's very own brand of mech play, it looks like.
I love it.
A little bit different. It's cool. I mean, if he can get a strong Air Force, battlecruisers are going to be tough to deal with. Here we go, though. That's a lot of Roaches in the front. Not much of a buffer, and some of the Banelings do get through, taking out most of the rest of the Hellions. And will it be enough Thors to handle the Roaches? I don't know, man.
And it looks like the Vikings are going to land at the back, and that is going to propel Hawk backwards. He does have to leave. Again, we can see that the weapons upgrades, the lack of weapons upgrades, I guess I should say, for the Roaches really hurting him at the moment. And now he has SCVs sitting there on repair.
Dancing?
I like it.
Like it's 1999 or something.
Gonna party like it's 1999. Thank you, Prince. All right, so more command centers being built at the moment. Strelok just doesn't know what to do with his money. No, in fact, he's going to sack SCVs here in a bit and replace them with mules on his orbital commands. And of course, we saw the fusion core. So the natural follow-up to this is a max battlecruiser army. I mean, that's just natural. I mean, this is standard.
Of course. Of course. Yeah.
All right.
A little bit of a Roach counterattack coming in for Hawk. We'll have to see how well it works. He should be able to do some damage with this. Nope, one tank is enough. He's pulling back. It's like,
got a little scared.
Mission accomplished.
Good job, boys. Pat yourselves on the back.
Yeah, well, it's actually really good.
We leave no man behind.
With that. If he had lost that whole Roach army, it's something kind of silly like a counterattack, that would have been the end of the game right there, and he's already behind. So
wave. I mean, look at this. Strelok's on 5 base now, producing 2 additional command centers, and he's maxed. Yes, Hawk is maxed, but Hawk is maxed off a 3 base with very, very low prospects of remaxing.
Yep, SCVs being used to buffer Roach damage.
Oh, yes, Behemoth Reactor and Battlecruisers.
Uh-oh, though. This is a nice surround here for Hawk. Is it going to be enough DPS to take out those Thors, though?
He does have +1 attacks now, but it looks like the mech army actually finished up +2 armor at the same time, kind of nullifying that upgrade.
Yep, 3 attack, 2 armor. That's more than enough. Yeah, at this point, I think Strelok's going to be able to just pretty much roll over his opponent.
Definitely. And we're not going to see a battlecruiser in the action. Disappointing. But, yeah, this is the last remaining vestiges of Hawk's mining, and that's bye-bye.
Yep. Yep, once this base was taken out, Strelok should pretty much lock the game down.
Definitely, definitely. And Roaches are getting killed as they funnel in one at a time. No other money for any other upgrades. It's going straight to units. He does kill 1 tank, though, but at the cost of about 22 Roaches.
Wouldn't be surprised at all to see him drop a mule there and repair some damage to those Thors. It's kind of a nice way to do it, but doesn't matter. The game's over.